In his testimony before the House Oversight and Reform Committee Wednesday, Michael Cohen will accuse his former client, President Trump, of knowing that his advisor Roger Stone was reaching out to WikiLeaks concerning the publication of stolen Democratic National Committee emails. But Cohen apparently will not claim Trump directed those communications, and Cohen will specifically assert that he lacks direct evidence of improper collusion by the Trump campaign with Russia, a significant admission, given Cohen's longtime status as the president's former top lawyer and fixer. Questions have been raised about whether I know of direct evidence that Mr. Trump or his campaign colluded with Russia, Cohen will testify. I do not. I want to be clear. But, I have my suspicions. In his prepared remarks, which were first obtained by Politico, Cohen will additionally point to what he will call an unusual episode in Trump Tower in approximately June 2016, when Donald Trump Jr. supposedly whispered about a meeting in Trump's ear, followed allegedly by Trump's reply, "Okay, good. Let me know." Trump has maintained that he did not know in advance about the meeting, backing up Trump Jr., who told the Senate Judiciary Committee the same thing in September 2017 and would face potential criminal liability if he were lying. But the administration has changed its accounting of whether Trump was personally involved in drafting a response to media reports about the meeting. According to Cohen, nothing went on in Trump world, especially the campaign, without Mr. Trump's knowledge and approval. So, I concluded that Don Jr. was referring to that June 2016 Trump Tower meeting about dirt on 18 Hillary with the Russian representative when he walked behind his dad's desk that day. Cohen is slated to outline a slew of other alleged misdeeds by Trump, including lying about his total assets to reduce his taxes and even trying to strong-arm academic officials into keeping his SAT scores secret. Fox News has not independently confirmed the transcript obtained by Politico. In a text message to The Washington Post, Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani strongly denied Cohen's reported claims, and pointed to Cohen's release of secret audio tapes of his conversations with Trump as evidence that Cohen can't be trusted. "It's pathetic," Giuliani said. "This is a lawyer who tapped his own client when he claimed he was being loyal. If you believe him, you are a fool. He bragged he was connected to Russian organized crime, and he may be. His father-in-law, who gave him millions to invest, was convicted of tax fraud in a money laundering operation. Let's see if these Democrats want to ask him about his many crimes having nothing to do with any tone but his coterie of business associates with questionable connections. If you believe him, you are a fool." Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani dotting perhaps the most significant portions of his opening statement. According to the transcript, Cohen tell Congress that Trump was a presidential candidate who knew that Roger Stone was talking with Julian Assange about a WikiLeaks drop of Democratic National Committee emails. Stone, who has denied any wrongdoing, has been indicted by a grand jury on charges of obstruction, making false statements and witness tampering as part of special counsel Robert Mueller's probe into possible Russian collusion by the Trump campaign. "I'm giving the committee today 3 years of President Trump's financial statements, from 2011 to 2013, which he gave to Deutsche Bank to inquire about a loan to buy the Buffalo Bills and to Forbes," Cohen will say. "It was my experience that Mr. Trump inflated his total assets when it served his purposes, such as trying to be listed among the wealthiest people in Forbes, and deflated his assets to reduce his real estate taxes." Later, Cohen adds, "Mr. Trump directed me to find a straw bidder to purchase a portrait of him that was being auctioned at an Art Hampton's event. The objective was to ensure that his portrait, which was going to be auctioned last, would go for the highest price of any portrait that afternoon. The portrait was purchased by the fake bidder for $60,000. Mr. Trump directed the Trump Foundation, which is supposed to be a charitable organization, to repay the fake bidder, despite keeping the art for himself. Cohen also claims he will provide copies of letters I wrote at Mr. Trump's direction that threatened his high school, colleges, and the College Board not to release his grades or SAT scores. The former Trump fixer will also provide what he calls proof for his previous claims that Trump organized hush money payments to two women who claimed affairs with Trump. He asked me to pay off an adult film star with whom he had an affair, and to lie to his wife about it, which I did, Cohen will testify. Lying to the First Lady is one of my biggest regrets. She is a kind, good person. I respect her greatly, and she did not deserve that. I am giving the committee today a copy of the $130,000 wire transfer from me to Ms. Clifford's attorney during the closing days of the presidential campaign that was demanded by Ms. Clifford to maintain her silence about her affair with Mr. Trump. I am providing a copy of a $35,000 check that President Trump personally signed from his personal Bank 14 account on August 1, 2017, when he was President of the United States, pursuant to the cover-up, which was the basis of my guilty plea, to reimburse me, the word used by Mr. Trump's TV lawyer, for the illegal hush money I paid on his behalf, Cohen continues. This $35,000 check was one of 11 check installments that was paid throughout the year, while he was president. In addition to lying to Congress, Cohen pleaded guilty last year to campaign finance violations for his involvement in the hush money payments. Federal prosecutors in New York have said Trump directed Cohen to arrange the payments to buy the silence of adult film star Stormy Daniels and former Playboy model Karen McDougal in the run-up to the 2016 campaign. Cohen told a judge that he agreed to cover up Trump's dirty deeds out of blind loyalty. Cohen is set to begin a 3-year prison sentence in May. Trump denies the allegations and says Cohen lied to get a lighter sentence. The president and some commentators have also characterized Cohen as a rat, an insult that Cohen will seek to address. Over the past 2 years, I have been smeared as a rat by the President of the United States, Cohen will say. The truth is much different. Meanwhile, in a remarkable social media post on the eve of the hearing, a top Republican suggested that lurid details of Cohen's private life may take center stage. The blockbuster public testimony threatened to overshadow Trump's summit in Vietnam with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, prompting some observers to say the timing was more than coincidental. Tuesday was the first of 3 consecutive days of congressional appearances scheduled for Cohen. After the public hearing Wednesday, he will appear before the House Intelligence Panel Thursday, again speaking in private. Republicans are expected to aggressively attempt to discredit Cohen, given that he has acknowledged lying previously. White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders said in a statement Tuesday it was laughable that anyone would take a convicted liar like Cohen at his word, and pathetic to see him given yet another opportunity to spread his lies. 2 years ago when this investigation started I said it may be the most important thing I am involved in my public life in the Senate, and nothing I've heard today dissuades me from that view, Warner said. Senators on the intelligence panel attended Tuesday's private meeting, a departure from the committee's usual practice, where witness interviews are conducted by staff only. The Senate Intel panel's chairman, Richard Burr, suggested to the Associated Press before the meeting that his committee would take steps to ensure that Cohen was telling the truth. I'm sure there will be some questions we know the answers to, so we'll test him to see whether in fact he'll be truthful this time, Burr said. At least one Republican member of the intelligence panel refused to go to the meeting. "I don't have any desire to go listen to a lying lawyer," said Texas Senator John Cornyn.